the CISM March, and then the two national anthems. I'll let you take a listen.
And now the national anthem of Cameroon.
In goal, you have Ungodam. The left back is Linda. Left center back is Sandrine. Right center back is Bakench. Right back is Rita. And then the midfield, left net. Mid is Mbo Mozamo, who scored the first one against the United States.
And she did well. I mean, both
the attacking midfielder
goalies, I mean, I think the save
is Eto. The right mid is Chun.
from Caroline Wood were phenomenal.
And then up front, Terry team. The left wing is
But let's see, and I'm excited to see
the right wing is
PM local time.
Both nations is confidence. Get a point. It'll be South Koreans. Plays with a lot of confidence, Shelby. And we've seen in this tournament. Like Shelby just said, for our
I was just thinking the same.
A staff sergeant, Shelby.
See how confidence plays and see if she.
Pruitt Johnson. I'm Alex Schools. Taking a look at the weather. 90 degrees at 7 p.m. local time.
Absolutely, I think.
Like Shelby just said, for our.
She was taking advantage of the
terrific crew.
Hesitation there.
I'm Alex Gould.
Just waiting for that perfect moment.
We will see you in about 90 minutes. And Molly.
Lauren Dunn to shut that down before she even had the.
At 7 p.m. local time. Terrific crew. Get a point. It'll be South Korea. Man, another human being. Bigfoot. And Molly. And like Shelby just said, for our Darren also wanted to shout out his wife. Terrific crew. Teresa, as well as his daughter. U.S. staff sergeant.
From Caroline Wood were phenomenal. And the team is just covered with all she was done. But let's see, and I'm excited to see the next for their skill.
They're looking for a beautiful third goal. This could be it.
This game here coming up at 7.
It's into the back of the net. It'll be South Korea. So you were just talking about her. And Molly. And she has her second goal at 7 p.m. local time of the match. The crew. Too much right now for U.S. Staff Sergeant. We will see you in about 90 minutes.
We were just talking about.
We will see you in about 90 minutes. It's got Pruitt Johnson, I'm Alex Gould. A lot of these women, we will see you in about 90 minutes. Get a point, it'll be South Korea.
And playing this field without having to
and Molly.
touch your hand.
Terrific crew. This is wide of the mark by U.S. Staff Sergeant Shelby. Like Shelby just said, for our terrific crew.
TV shows to kind of watch the team play but they haven't really even seen them play together either. A lot of these teams, this is the first time they played together, so you can scout a player or two separately, but you can't scout an entire team that hasn't been playing in a few weeks, right? So this is the first time having the opportunity, having the LRS be able to bring the teams up here on their non-playing days to watch and scout the team and strategize is really a treat for these players.
I think we're waiting on a keeper here for Ireland. Everyone is out on the pitch except for Lauren Dunn. She's getting something looked at over there on the right leg. So you can see it there on your screen, maybe fixing the shin guard a little bit. Dunn did have a collision earlier on with Uncomodio, and Dunn was able to come away with a big save at the time. That could be what happened, and she tells the training staff that she's good to go. But last couple of shout-outs that the Irish team wanted to get in. Shane Desmond, one of the assistant coaches, I know his wife Chrissy, is watching kids Sophie and Ethan. I know it's close to their bedtime. He was hoping that maybe they'd stay up just a little bit later to watch this Irish team play before they head to bed. But it's the weekend, right, coming up, so maybe they get a little extra time to stay up. But I know he wanted to say hi to Chrissy, Sophie, and Ethan. And last but not least, Devin Roach wanted to say hi to his wife Sarah, sons Jack and Ben, and he wanted to wish Grange good luck in the football championship. Some good Irish shout-outs there. We appreciate you guys watching. I know it's tough not being with family for a couple of weeks, few weeks, and I know you know all about that, Shelby, being in the military. It can be stressful at times, but everyone cheering these Irish ladies on as well as the people from Cameroon. I know a lot of the players from Cameroon just said, we want to thank everyone in Cameroon who stays up late to watch us. It means a lot to them. As the flag goes up, Uncomodio is offside.
Well, you know, you mentioned it. Being away for a couple weeks at a time, it is stressful, and I know it's hard on these ladies, but I know that it's fun, right? We get to meet all these new people. I mean, this is one of the best TDYs I've ever been in since I've been in the Air Force, right? I love soccer. I love watching these ladies play. I love meeting them and learning about these different nations and how they play the game of soccer.
So I was talking about the crew earlier. Got to shout them out every match for how hard they work to make sure that not just people in the United States, but from all over the world can watch on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, of course. Hill Air Force Base in Salt Lake City, Utah from the 2nd Audio Visual Squadron, as well as Joint Base San Antonio Lackland in San Antonio, Texas from the 3rd Audio Visual Squadron. These two audio-visual squadrons are a big deal. There's a lot of really, really hard-working people who not only defend their country, but make sure that everyone can see this event and these events play out live. They do a lot of air shows as well as sports, traveling all over the country. I'll tell you what, celebrated a birthday yesterday. You gave me a great shout-out. Steve Deneau got the cake, but you know, it felt like a family, and that's what the people here do. They make sure that you are accounted for, and I think that's taught in every military and every branch, and so it's been a really cool experience for me to be a part of the team.
Well, I mean, we thank you for joining us. Obviously, you're really taking this production up to a higher level, right? You're the pro here, so having you here has been helpful for all of us, and I know we've enjoyed your company as well.
Thanks, Shelby. I appreciate that. And also, I don't know about pro. I think these women are pros. What they do, defending their countries, but also trying to defend crosses like this and put the ball into the back of the net. But that's what is so unique about this tournament. And of course, I know the CISM Council is just hoping that it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We talk about 140 nations have at least one CISM team. And what that means is there's 30 different sports. So it could be a volleyball team or a rifling team. It doesn't have to be women's football. It could be a men's football team, not women's football, and vice versa. This is crossed in, stopped by the Irish for now. But this is tied with El Paso in 2018 for the largest women's football championship that they've ever had. So they're hoping that in the Netherlands next year, maybe it gets up to 11, and they add one more. And of course, too, this was what Steve Deneau and the United States wanted to do, was put on a big stream so that people could understand, A, how talented these women are, but B, what's possible with CISM women's football.
You know, and I wish we could live stream the entire thing. I think a lot of people are missing the behind the scenes of how much these women get to meet each other, learn about each other, hang out, visit the area. I know that the Ireland team got to go downtown a little bit here in the last couple of days, and that's exciting.
And if you like coffee, there's a lot of coffee in the state of Washington, especially in Spokane.
And speaking of behind the scenes, you know, we've been talking about him this entire time. Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman has been a huge help and really the man behind everything here in Spokane, Washington, putting on this CISM tournament. And he wanted to shout out Captain Baum. He said she's been the assistant through the entire event and does it all. And she just got promoted to captain this month. So congratulations, Captain Pham. Thank you for being such a helping hand here for Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman and the CISM team.
So a corner kick here for Cameroon. So Chanko to take the corner. Cameroon looking for number 5. That hits the side of the net, and that was stopped pretty quickly. So Lauren Dunn, who's had a battle here in the first half. Ireland doing a better job the last 10 minutes or so of working on some things defensively. But as I say that, Tabe, who scored the game winner against the United States, gets her second goal of the tournament, her first of the match. And a couple of Irish players are down as Cameroon goes up 5-0. And we were just talking about Dunn, how hard she's had to work. She collided with the right center back in Shannon Thomas. And Dunn is in some serious pain on the ground.
We definitely don't like to see that here. Having her on the ground, holding her head. We're really holding our breaths here to hope that she's okay and she's able to continue. And I know the Irish team is doing the same. And really, bottom line, we just want to make sure everyone's staying safe, healthy, and able to make it through the championship. And I know that they are too.
Well, Dunn's a warrior. And she's down over there inside the 18. Training staff looking at her, and I think Shannon Thomas feeling bad because they collided. Of course, not Shannon's fault. They were going for the ball and trying to make a play. And Lauren Dunn, who's in the Army, she's an infantry soldier, member of the Defense Forces football team the past 3 years. Just hoping that she's okay inside the box.
And that was in the 32nd minute. Goal by number 17, Tabe.
So Cameroon gets that goal. They lead Ireland 5-0. Done a nice job of moving the ball around. Tabe now has her second goal of the tournament, her first since the game winner against the United States in the 79th minute. Also has an assist in this match. And Thomas and Dunn collided.
And being a goalkeeper is hard all around, but having that tenacity and that courage to do those dives, to do the rolls, and to really dive into traffic like that and risk an injury like this right now is just above and beyond, right? You can't be afraid of the ball, and you really want to keep the other team from scoring no matter what you do. So diving there is really the best thing that she could have done. It just has to be unfortunate that she had a collision, in which we hope that never really happens.
So Dunn still down, still getting tended to. Head referee is over there as well, checking in on Dunn. That is Mariska Overtoom, head ref from the Netherlands. That's what we were talking about. It's tough for Shannon Thomas too, because it's so inadvertent. She's trying to make a play on the ball from Tabe and prevent the goal, and there's just nothing you can do about that situation. When Dunn is coming in, Shannon Thomas is trying to make a play as well. And now Darren Cody, the head coach, the manager I should say, is going out to check on his star keeper.
Well, you absolutely bring up a good point. Shannon Thomas, I know she is feeling down on herself for making that collision, but she's doing her job, and so is Dunn, and I think they both know that. So I couldn't see any type of animosity between the players. You know what I mean? This stuff kind of happens, and I feel kind of bad for her sitting there, and I know she feels bad, but we definitely know that she did the right thing. Both of them did the right thing. It just happens to be unfortunate circumstances that she is hurt down there in the goal box.
So we can take a look at some highlights from this match. See how Cameroon got to 5-0. You can see there, that was a goal. The first goal was by Eto, and then the second one by Uncomodio. The third also by Eto, so she's one away from a hat trick. And then that fourth goal was by Confidence, her first goal of the tournament, how well she has played. And finally that fifth goal that just happened that led to the collision by Tabe.
Big thanks to our medical team that is here. We have EMS over here on the far side by the locker rooms. Then we also have 2 medical trainers from each nation coming here to CISM to make sure that these players are at their tip-top shape to play. And you can see both of them out there on the field. And it looks like she got up. She is a tough one there, Lauren Dunn.
So good to see that Dunn is okay. Again, scary collision, you never know. It's a nice job, like you said, by the training staff. It's nice to see Darren Cody go out there and check on his star keeper. But we're resuming some football here. 5-0 in favor of Cameroon. Cameroon could be the most dangerous team in this tournament. Again, I think a lot of people could say Germany, a lot of people South Korea. I know France has only played one match, but they won in convincing style, 8-0 over the Netherlands. So
it's definitely a good matchup. There are some great teams here, and it's going to be interesting to see who makes it to the last few games here at the 13th World Military Women's Football Championship.
left foot trying a deflection that time.
Gotten back up, really. Also, the coaches were talking too about the Irish got to go kayaking with the Defence Forces kayaking team in Ireland a week before they came here. Got some time off, got some fun to do a little bit more activities and mesh together as a team. And I think that's exciting. That's, I mean, really what CISM's all about is getting together and being a team, whether you know each other or you don't, or you're different nations or you don't. And I think that's, and she did well. I mean, both the exciting, and I know the U.S. team got goalies. I mean, I think the state to have some, but let's see, and I'm excited to see the next one here. Morale boost game here coming up at 7 and making sure that they get the breaks that they need. PM local time.
Both nations get a point. It'll be South Korea. 7 p.m. local time. Like Shelby just said, they'll be right wing. Pruitt Johnson, I'm Alex Gould. We will see you in about 90 minutes. This is a match too, Shelby. We're in the second. And Molly at 7 p.m. local time. Terrific crew. That's all. U.S. Staff Sergeant Shelby. Right foot rocket. And done. Pruitt Johnson, I'm Alex Gould. Makes the save. It, like Shelby just said, for our and gets picked up by terrific crew. Her teammate, U.S. Staff Sergeant Shelby. It's 12:19 at night, 12:19 a.m. Boy, yeah, I think you can go to bed comfortably knowing that Cameroon is going to win this match. They were stellar.
I think here in the second half, we're going to see Cameroon switch some players out like we were talking about, have that slew of subs. But
You're going to stop saying that.
I know, right? And I think they're going to get some fresh legs and some fresh experience out here. But I think Ireland is really going to take the time here to think strategy and think about what they need to do on the offensive here rather than the defensive, and maybe switch some players to give their defensive line a break. But Lauren Dunn, she's continuing to do what she can there on the goal.
7-0 Cameroon here at the half, and guess what? Matt Hester, who's been working so hard to get interviews with all the teams, all the liaisons, everyone that's working so hard at this tournament. He visited with the South Korean team to talk about the tournament, their preparation, them playing together. And oh yeah, there's 6 big points so far. Take a listen.
일단 저희가 이 대회를 위해서 준비를 너무 많이 했고, 저희는 이 대회를 저희가 가지고 있는 전력을 다 쏟아부어서 정말 멋진 경기를 보여드리는.
I mean, I think the save
상대를 제압하기 위해서는
from Caroline Wood were phenomenal. She was diving and dipping all over the
약간
field. But let's see, and I'm excited to see the next
나쁜 말이긴 하지만
game here coming up at 7
죽여버려? 이런 뜻을 가지고 저희는 항상 준비를 하고 있습니다.
p.m. local time.
Both nations get a point. It'll be South Korea.
다른 팀에 비해
And Molly.
저희는 가족 같은
We just said for our
팀에 비해 저는 그걸로 인해서
terrific crew.
같은 마음을
Pruitt Johnson, I'm Alex Gould.
가지면서 누군가 기뻐하고 그런 걸로 인해서 저희는 다른 팀에 좀 더 끈끈하게.
p.m. local time.
Both nations get a point. It'll be South Korea.
And having to kind of educate the
and the terrific crew. U.S. Staff Sergeant Shelby Pruitt Johnson. All right, so I think we're caught up to date on the substitutes. Confidence yet again. See if she wants to take a shot this time. Instead, try to pass it again. It almost feels like Confidence being a little bit unselfish, maybe a little bit too unselfish at times inside the 18.
And that may be part of the strategy, right? Giving the other players a chance to get a foot on the ball there for a chance of a goal.
Here's Tabe.
We've seen some nice control here and good passes, precise passes to the right people here for the Cameroon team.
Good ball out wide. But that cross goes way wide of everything.
I'm definitely seeing the aggressiveness of the Irish team coming out here in the second half. Seeing a little bit more, I wouldn't say pushing, but just being a little bit more not afraid of the ball, not afraid of the other players. And I think it might do the Irish team a little bit well here to kind of push Cameroon off the ball a little bit.
I'm curious to see if confidence will ever check off the pitch. I'm not sure she will in this tournament at any point in time. We'll see.
I think if once the Cameroon team gets real comfortable, they might give her some rest.
And if there's any match to do it, this is the one. You're up 7-0 after the first half. Right.
You know, as we were talking about the sun a little bit earlier today, you can see Ngodam here in the Cameroon side. She has her head on. She knows that that sun is brutal, and she wants to keep it out of her eyes as much as she can to make sure that if she is tested, she won't make any mistakes.
And hopefully we can get a good shot of Ngodam, the Cameroon keeper, at some point to showcase what you're talking about. Into the box. Dunn couldn't control it. Now she's outside the 6. A left foot try by Eto, who's still looking for that hat trick, but mishit it.
It seems like a relentless attack here, really in the attacking third for the Cameroon team, and I hope the Irish can keep their defensive line here and try to keep it up and get it in their attacking half.
Confidence out wide. Good move. Yet again, so quick. Left foot cross. And Tabe missed with the right foot. Cannot believe it. Tabe thought she had it, but could not connect. So the most goals we've seen in this tournament was the very first match between the United States and Belgium. The United States scored 7 in the first half, and that's exactly what Cameroon did against Ireland. Confidence yet again. Good save by Dunn. So Dunn able to stop it there from going past the touchline. Would have been a Cameroon corner.
It's a good stop there.
And just the way that Confidence is able to. There's Lieutenant Colonel Kirschman. There's a good shot of him there. He is calling out all the substitutes, and also he's the man. He's the guy who's running this whole tournament. Him and Steve Denote just done an amazing job. Talked about him a lot. One of the most gracious human beings you'll ever meet. And he told me something yesterday that was so cool, and it was just the way he said it was really impressive. Yeah, that's going to be a foul.
I think the save
for Chonko and Cam
from Carolina Wood were phenomenal.
Terrific crew as well. U.S. Staff Sergeant Shelby.
So what you were saying,
Pruitt Johnson. I'm Alex Gould.
yes, when they
Like Shelby just said, for our
rooms for the refs and the refs
terrific crew.
themselves, making sure that they're trained,
U.S. Staff Sergeant Shelby.
rested, lodging,
See you in about 90 minutes.
housing, and rooms and beds for all. And thanked by the 92nd Air Refueling Wing Commander, Colonel Bentley, for joining us here for the 13th World Military Women's Football Championship. All the gifts were handmade by Tanya, and she made these gifts for them to exchange there at the Doubletree. And in exchange, right, like I said, the teams gave Colonel Bentley a gift as well from each one of the nations. And you know what? That just really shows what we're here for, is that friendship through sport and making sure everyone feels welcome and thanking each other for letting each other be here and have the chance to play here on this field and score 9 goals here at this game.
Yeah, I was going to say that's a gift. It's a gift within itself, being able to score 9 goals. But yeah, it's another great story, and the chance to go over the Doubletree and do that gift exchange. This could be the hat trick for Nunga, and it is. That may be the fastest hat trick I've ever seen watching football. That happened within about 2 minutes, if that. Nunga just scored 3 goals within about 2 minutes against Ireland. They have their 10. They match the United States, and guess what? There's still about 25 minutes left in this match. So Nunga with 3 goals in a matter of 2 minutes. John Anderson is marking this. She scored 2 in the 63rd minute, 1 in the 66th. And so we'll say maybe about 2.5. Looking over at John Anderson here, roughly. Now we get the hydration break. And Mark and Nunga.
Absolutely. You mentioned 25 minutes about in the game, but we've seen time and time again, they don't need it. Cameroon needs, what, 2-3 minutes, 30 seconds to make multiple goals here on the pitch? I mean, I'm interested to see if they can get more than U.S. had scored in the
Johnson, really appreciate you guys tuning in, whether you're in Ireland or Cameroon, here in the States, wherever you may be. We appreciate it. I know these women do as well. Well, Shelby, it's been lopsided. We've been talking about it. It's been tough to watch. If you're an Irish fan, I'll tell you what, there's going to be a lot of parties in Cameroon. If they haven't watched this match, they're going to wake up and recognize that their women are playing really hard and going to achieve 6 points and go to 2-0 in Group A.
A great wake-up call. I mean, even the best wake-up call that you can have is waking up and seeing this 10-0 game here, and might be more than 10 when the people in Cameroon wake up and see the score here today.
Just see how physical Cameroon is. That was Ambianchi. She has a goal for Cameroon, 1 of the 10.
You know, it makes me think, what is Lauren Dunn thinking? What's going through her head here as she is 10 goals down here in the game.
Jonko boots one. That goes wide, and another player down for the Irish inside the 18, just outside the 6. Well, she's thinking that she doesn't want to play against Cameroon again. I can tell you that. But a lot of it, too, I mean, we talk about it. Back line, and this match is, obviously, you can tell, it's just Cameroon just too quick for the Irish. Very tactically sound, and a lot of it is because Cameroon, these players are used to playing year-round with one another. Play with each other all the time. They are so cohesive. They're a unit out on the pitch, and a lot of these women from Ireland, like we said, really learning the sport of football. Talked about they play different sports, all athletes. Yeah, no doubt about it, but still learn.
And she did well. I mean, both the
this game.
goalies, I mean,
Bring together some passes.
she was diving and dipping all over the sea, and I'm excited to see the next game here coming up. And as a goalkeeper, you have to think,
Get a point. It'll be South Korea.
you know, what can I do for my
7 p.m. local time.
I have let these through the goal, but
Like Shelby just said,
in order to
U.S. Staff Sergeant Shelby,
be that defensive line to stop these balls from
about 90 minutes.
getting it right. And for me
At 7 p.m. local time,
and bring the team together to say, hey,
like Shelby just said, for our
maybe we should do a little bit something different,
terrific crew,
so that way it doesn't get to our goalie
U.S. Staff Sergeant Shelby
all the time, so she's not getting worked as
Pruitt Johnson. I'm the U.S. A much anticipated match. Our next match at 7 p.m. United States looking for revenge against Germany after being beaten by them in the 89th minute in Wuhan, China. Tomorrow's matches, France versus Mali at 3:30 p.m. We'll see that French team again. You talk about Mali, or you were just talking about, who has never competed in the CISM World Football Military Championship. They will play their second match against France, and then the Netherlands against South Korea. So Group B action will kick off again tomorrow. South Korea trying to improve to 9 points. Germany has the potential to be the first nation to 9 points tonight. If they defeat the United States, they would get to 9 first, but if they lose to the U.S. or if there's a draw, South Korea would have the chance tomorrow to be the first nation to get to 9, which means that South Korea would only have one more match to go. And after tonight, Germany and the U.S. will each only have one more match to go as well. Good ball here. Good give and go. That was Ghislaine who just scored. She was trying to be set up by Nanga, who has that hat trick already. Here's Chanko, and boy, that was bulleted off a defender. That was Foy, who took the brunt of that kick and that shot attempt.
that had to her, and you could see her face. She was not expecting that. But getting a body in front of the ball is really what you need to do there in your defensive third.
Good ball out wide here. Cameroon looking for number 12 potentially in the box. No whistle. It's just amazing, too. I keep going back and forth as flag goes up offside. Just off that time. That was McGuigan. But I keep going back and forth, Shelby. I know you do as well. As to who's the most talented team, the most tactical team, the most skillful team in this tournament. There's no doubt in my mind that Cameroon's the most quick. Boy, I keep going back and forth. There's 5 nations that I've seen, any one of them could win the gold medal when it's all said and done. And I think Foy is hurt from that kick she took off the shoulder.
Well, like we saw at halftime, South Korea, they think, and they might know, that their team is the most cohesive in terms of being close. So they play all year round, and they were talking a little bit about, we share the emotions. We know what each other is going through, that happiness, that sadness, and whether it be skill, quickness, or maybe cohesion. And I think the South Korea thinks that it's us. You know, we know each other, we share those emotions, and that brings us closer and closer together every day. And we know that these other nations are doing the same, but like we said time and time again, South Korea plays all year round with the same people, whereas a lot of these teams are getting together here to kind of know each other for the first time in a couple weeks.
Gotta hydrate here. It is hot. And also, too, that's another story that the Irish coaches were talking about, both Darren Cody and Richard Crowe, before the match, saying it's just really hot compared to what it is in Ireland. Trying to take a look here to give you an idea of what the high was temperature-wise in Dublin. Dublin, it was 73 degrees. And that's beautiful, right? That's great. It gets down to about 57, so about 73 degrees. And that's beautiful, right? That's great. It gets down to about 57, so about 16-degree temperature drop. That's, of course, in Fahrenheit. But it's a lot cooler there than it is here in the summertime in Spokane.
I think I would much rather be playing in a 70-degree weather than a 90-degree weather, that's for sure. And this turf making it 8 to 10 degrees hotter, and you could just feel the heat rising up from the ground itself is just crazy. And I can imagine how these girls feel out on the field. I think we're seeing a little bit more passing and more sequencing here in the second half by Cameroon, and I wonder if they're trying some new things here against the Irish defense.
John Coe. Could be a goal. It is. Another one for Cameroon. Make it number 12 in the 80th minute. That goal scored by Umbianji. So Umbianji scores her first goal of the match, and they are sharing the love, are the women for Cameroon. So a sub coming in for Ireland. 19 is checking onto the pitch for the Irish. 19 is Rachel Jane Madden. So Rachel Jane Madden is checking in, and checking out is Siobhan O'Sullivan.
You know, we talked a little bit about Meany going to Texas on a soccer scholarship. Oh my gosh, another one of those alliterations. But Madden also went to San Diego to play for a year while working in California. So she might be a little bit, she kind of saw the heat in California, and now being here, she's same kind of heat.
I'll tell you what, it's probably hotter too in San Diego right now.
Substitution for Ireland coming off the field, number 5, Siobhan O'Sullivan.
Actually, no, it's not. San Diego right now. Wow. How about this? It's amazing. San Diego in July is normally 95, 100 plus. San Diego today, high of 73. That's what it is in Ireland. Amazing. Irish clear for now. The 82nd minute. That's amazing. Now we want to see the hometown of Los Angeles, where we're at. LA only 80 degrees today. That's a cold front. I guarantee you people in San Diego and Los Angeles, I could ask my family back in LA, I guarantee you they're wearing jackets and parkas. That's freezing for the middle of July in California. It's amazing that it's hotter here in Spokane, Washington than it is in Southern California.
Well, maybe it's just the Cameroon team bringing the heat, Alex.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. I think that is what it is. But Cameroon, looking at their weather, this is also way hotter than it is in Cameroon. It was a high of 80 degrees Fahrenheit today. A lot of rain in Cameroon right now. That's why they're doing the hydration breaks. Especially out on the turf, we've talked about it over and over again. But it's a point that you do kind of want to talk about. Left foot cross, and that goes past the touchline. Goal kick for Dunn. A lot of these nations are coming from places where it's a lot cooler, so they are not used to this heat. And even the people of Spokane have told me that live here year-round that it was cold, 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 tons of rain. It was a high of like 55, 60 degrees the last month. And then right when all the teams started showing up, a lot of heat. Could be another one for Cameroon, but the flag goes up. That goal will be disallowed. It will not count. That would have been Ghislaine's second of the match.
I think Cameroon's not too disappointed about that. I mean, they have 12 on the scoreboard now, and I think they can afford to lose that one there.
So we will, to put this into perspective, we will have just started the second half of the gold medal match. That is next Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And the reason it's a little bit earlier in the States is so that European nations, African nations, maybe you're in South Korea, can try and tune into that match, although maybe not as friendly to those in South Korea, because that's a 16-hour time difference. Although I guess that would be, what, 8 in the morning? That'd be 8 in the morning South Korea, so not bad. But that way the nations that are 8-hour time difference, if you play in that gold medal match, it's at midnight. 9-hour time difference, it's 1 a.m. So maybe you stay up late. It's Friday night. You don't have to work on the weekend. But gold medal match, 4 p.m. next Friday, 7 days away.
And it's crazy to think, a lot of these teams, after they get back, after the championship match, they get traveling, they get checked out of Fairchild Air Force Base, they're going right back into their duty. The Ireland team and our infantry soldiers, artillery, military police, cavalry, senior officers, ton of different military branches and jobs, and they're going right back into it after all this hard work here in Spokane.
O'Reilly is down. She's been working hard for Ireland. She's down on the opposite side of the pitch right now.
Something great I really saw about the Irish team as well that might have to wait here.
Onganji couldn't connect with the pass, but gonna get it right back on Bianji.
So the Irish defense shouted out their refs. They thanked Jonathan Hennessy and Paul Kavanaugh in the they shouted them out. They said there is a strong tradition of producing top quality referees in the defense forces. That's really cool to me. You know, they're not only supporting the players who came to play and these skilled women, but they're supporting the referees who came, who are very highly qualified and are doing their best here each and every day between the different matches and different teams.
Yeah, I was just talking to Paul Kavanaugh, actually, at halftime, and he was talking to me about how 2 days after he gets back to Ireland, of course, he's one of the referees, you'll see him tomorrow refereeing a game. He's a naval officer. He's going to go on a ship. This could be number 13 for Cameroon. Nope, it's going to be a save by Dunn. Boy, she has not given up here this afternoon. Still working hard in between the pipes. But Paul Kavanaugh was talking about how about a day or two later, he'll be on that naval ship.
And that's interesting, too, because the Ireland team is primarily Army and Air Corps. So having someone from the Navy as a ref is a little bit different, and getting that different perspective is super cool. And I bet that they're talking a lot about that in the locker rooms and at dinner and things like that, and getting to know each other's branches and how they work. That's really awesome. And like I said,
yeah.
And she did well. I mean, both the goals doesn't stop. The saves from Caroline Wood were phenomenal. She was dying.
It is 12-0 Cameroon.
But let's see, and I'm excited to see the next.
It's 12, so that's why it's so important to yeah. And this
goalies, I mean, I think the save
tournament is not necessarily
from Caroline Wood were phenomenal. She was diving and dipping all over the
really about wins and losses. I understand they're still
field. But when she plays there in the Irish game, she feels the military has helped her so, and she did well in a position you wouldn't normally be. From Caroline Wood were phenomenal, and that helps her better. But let's see, and I'm excited to see the next game as well, is putting yourself in uncomfortable situations. Really, this game here coming up at 7.